I thought I'd do a fun segment today since I've done almost nothing but segments that really bum people out the last couple of days. It's kind of been a rough couple of weeks for the autistic community. Not just the autistic community, the neurodiverse community in general. And for healthcare, that's always fun when healthcare goes down. Jeez. So I thought I'd do a segment that's more fun to kind of lighten the mood. This is a segment that I'm calling Autistic Characters in Media. Now, for this segment, I'm not doing autistic characters that are confirmed. Rather, I'm doing autistic characters that I've observed and come to the conclusion through many traits that I have seen them display that they are probably autistic or that, at the very least, people with autism can relate. Oh boy. This is going to be a hard segment, and I'm probably not going to be able to post about it often. Well, seeing as there's not many characters that fit this bill, for starters, and secondly, because if I choose the wrong character, it can be highly insulting to many people. So I have to be careful in how I do this. But how this goes really depends on how people see it and if people like it and if I can find good characters. I hope that I can be able to do this often. It was really fun making this one. Anyway, this week's character is a character called Haruhi Fujioka from Ouran High School Host Club, the anime. Released in the early 2000s, it is both dubbed and subbed. I believe it's on Crunchyroll, subbed only, for legal streaming. Guys, please use legal streaming. I really want to support the creators of Ouran High School Host Club. They are amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna go on and say why I think Haruhi is autistic. If you watch her closely, it's pretty obvious. She has a few traits which show autism. I believe she's actually Asperger's. She shows many traits that go along with it. First, like many people with autism, she's brutally honest and straightforward. Second, like many autistic girls, she doesn't really show many feminine traits. I know that's true for me. Third, she has a fierce drive for independence. People with Asperger's are often denied the ability to be independent, and it can cause us to seek it out on our own. It's pretty common for people who are higher functioning to really, really want to be independent. Um, Fourth, she very much avoids eye contact when she gets uncomfortable. She'll often turn to the side and look to the corner, not looking someone in the eye. And fifth and last, it's the way she relates to others. I'm going to go through each of these in a bit more detail. First, her brutal honesty. Yeah, there's not much to say about this. She's straightforward to a fault, where it's even a joke in the show, where she is so straightforward that she can actually be perceived as rude at times, even though she is only telling the brutal, honest truth. This is shown mostly as a joke, but also it's a big way in how the character relates to others. It's a big part of her character, and you can't really ignore it. Second is the fact that she doesn't really display many feminine traits. Sorry about that, guys. Haruhi is, well, she doesn't really see herself as a boy or a girl, as she states in the show. She doesn't really care whether people see her as a boy or a girl, as long as they see her as a person. She really doesn't care about femininity at all. While this isn't only autistic people who feel this way, A good portion of autistic girls, especially Aspies, don't really like showing feminine traits. I actually saw a online video where a professor who had worked with people with autism for years and years says that many girls with autism are tomboys. While this isn't direct evidence, and it could be written off as her personality or gender identity, eh, it is something to add to the list on similarity she has with people with autism. Fourth is her avoidance of eye contact. Actually, that's third. Third, I'm miscounting. Oh no, it's fourth. She'll often cover her eyes or just look straight ahead, not looking anyone in the eye. I actually have to work hard to look the camera in the eye. It's not always fun to me, as you sometimes see my eyes twitch off to the side. That's partially because I'm uncomfortable looking the camera in the eye, but also because I feel like if I stare at the camera too long, you guys will be uncomfortable too, and have trouble looking at my face. Tell me in the comments if that's true or not. If you have trouble watching videos where the person's just staring at you the entire time. I try and avoid doing that. I feel like it makes people uncomfortable. Okay, what's. Anyway, she often covers her eyes or looks to the corner of the screen instead of straight at the person's face, especially in situations where she's uncomfortable. She'll whip her head around and stare away from the person as if she's extremely uncomfortable. As far as sensory goes, there are some things she's uncomfortable with, which you can't necessarily say are sensory or not, but she has said she hates the rain. This could be a sensory issue or not. What else? She's also complained about things like cold, textures in foods, things like that. She's complained about it. These could be sensory issues or they could just be nasty foods and really cold, but I'm going to say for the sake of the argument that she does have at least a little sensory issues. And where was I? Ah, yes, number 5. This is actually the biggest one in how I believe that she's autistic. It's the way she relates to others. Not only is she straightforward and brutally honest, but she often misinterprets other people's feelings. This is somewhat common in people with autism. We have trouble reading facial expressions, and it can be a challenge to understand people. Hmm. Let me think of an example with me. Yes. I have trouble reading the difference between tired and upset. So when somebody's really tired and not really paying attention, I might ask them what's wrong and if they are upset. My parents, this drives my parents crazy, but I honestly don't realize that they're not upset and just tired. Eh. Whereas Haruhi has trouble understanding what's going on in their heads and has often said that there is a wall between her and her friends. She chalks it up to wealth, but I think it's more of they are extremely sociable and she has difficulty relating to others. There's actually a scene in the manga, I can't remember which one, but if you read it, she actually breaks down and starts crying because she can't relate to others. This is the scene that convinced me that she is autistic. That she is having such difficulty relating to others that She definitely qualifies. There are a few other minor things. Like, for instance, she's incredible in math. Again, not all people with autism, but it's pretty common. And what else? She's also a bit of a charmer when she wants to be. While she has difficulty relating to others, she's able to mimic other people's behavior and be good at blending in for the most part. This is helpful for her in her host activities. Plus, being a host member teaches her a lot about social skills. There's a lot she doesn't understand about it. She questions why she's supposed to act like a girl. She questions teamwork a lot of in one episode, which she does learn her lesson and understands that people can help her and it's not weakness. But the reason why I think she's such a good model for our community is that yes, she's autistic. At least I believe she is. I have no there is no confirmation or denying from the creators, so I'm gonna go with she is because of the traits I have seen. So I'm gonna go with yes, she's autistic. Yes, she has trouble relating to others. Yes, she has challenges. But yes, she fights through them. Yes, she moves forward. Yes, she keeps going. This is why I think she is such a good model for our community. I think everyone in the autistic community should check her out. She's pretty cool. And even if she isn't autistic, which I'm pretty sure she is, she shares many traits with us, and it's generally interesting to see people who share these traits who weren't written to be autistic. I don't believe she was specifically written that way, but well, she definitely comes across as that way. And now again, I'm not saying this is every person with autism or even the majority of us, but she is a pretty good representation of a single person with autism and shows many traits of having it. I think it's genuinely interesting to find people like this in media. People you can relate to what because you're on the spectrum, despite it never being said whether or not they are on the spectrum. I really enjoy this character and this whole series. It's pretty cool. I hope you check it out. I am not going to give you a link in the description for it because I am unaware whether I don't know where to get it legally. I found it legally on a site before, but I'm not sure if it's still up there, so I'm not going to give you a link to there. But I do know that if you have a subscription to Crunchyroll, you can watch it there. Bye! This has been Autistic Nation.